plant. You either do it in two ways. It's small tower, and then you go for the sort of dining dash, or if you want to go on this back end, well, there's a lot more of the big building you've got to get locked down, and here it is. Bibu trying to punch and shoot his way through and round onto the corner. The pop of the stun unfortunately collides with both of them, and there's an easy pickup from the swing round. The read should come. Hey, he's right round on the trophy door, and there it is. Quick response, and, well, hand in hand over the top. Wild get the first.
Very comfortable first round coming down from Wild here. Not really receiving any pressure onto the side, of course. We did see the to par yet. Ooh, that's a leg spotted there. Also, in the meantime, the phone calls.
I mean, they're pushing the site. They're putting the pressure directly onto it. Packball's going to sort of give the call out that they're here. I need some support. P4's tucked into a corner. They've just swarmed in, taken some of the pressure here, and P4's going for the plant itself. You need Wild to have a reaction. Sure, they got the hatch and the C4 around the corner. It's tucked onto the side. P4 takes a lot of damage. There's a drop onto a hatch that they just closed down on. A miscommunication as to where the player might be. They finally get the kit killed. And now with a minute 40 and a 3 versus 2, there's a rotate round onto elbow onto the side. They're going to get the wall maybe open. The mute jammer will block both of those. They're not going to go high. Aces goes high. Gets rid of Shinka. Deadshot gets the kit back in his pocket. He needs the cover to come through. Jags just sees a sliver of a wolf, but cannot quite cut the tail off as they go for the plant once again. The 2 versus 2. Jags suffering a little bit. They're not quite confident enough because Deadshot's pulled off. They make the right decision there. They don't want to give them the fight. Deadshot's going to swing and see if he can find it himself. They're concerned how close they can be. There's only so much that can be covered here. Another attempt at the plant. Another wait. Another double swing round. They're going for it this time. The full send. There's nobody on the angle. They get the plant down and the cover. Missed the first man. Finds the second. And now it's a 1 versus 1. Aces needs the 4K to lock it. Cannot find the player. And Wolves with a quick rush get a late plant. Ready to catch the pressure onto Pillar. Packball pulls himself back again. 30 seconds. You're looking at time becoming this ever sort of present loud tick in the ears of the players, putting the pressure on as Teb gets the rotate, takes a lot of damage for it, but now it's, again, 10 seconds past. Still these smoke canisters buying time. One more still in pocket as well that's going towards the default plant spot, and he's been able to keep elbow soft with Packball watching for support as well. They still have a lot of ground here. They still have a hold onto the default plant spot. They have all of Wolves stuck in a single box, and a C4 will define this round as we've just run out of time.
He just rotates back in.
Yeah, and, you know, with still, I think, 2 softs in the pocket, they could lock that off if they wanted. It's currently soft. Now they don't have the option. Bibu gets the kill there. He's still holding on. P4 was watching the rotate as well. The player was pinched, but it wasted another 20 seconds. The focus paid elsewhere. Aces underneath gets a free bite from the classroom onto Shinka. Bibu has to try and drive himself through. There's a kill on the top of White, all being revealed by the bulletproof. The rotate onto Armory stairs. Well, it should be watched by one of the players, and there it is suddenly. 2 versus 2. 20 seconds. They're trying to get eyes inside. They have the camera deployed. Not any longer. It gets taken out. The top of White and the swing. They want to see if they can try and get the plant spot, but actually they've taken a hatch drop. Teb with the potential rotate round. I'm not sure if he meant to do it, but it's been done now, and if they find out that it's a 2 versus 1 on site, they can try and push the fight. They do. They go for the swing. Packball slips his way into games itself. P4's now tucked all the way around on the other side. They're holding off on the angle. They want to wait until the timer's at its lowest. There's the reveal of Bibu to get one onto Packball. There's the spray through of Teb. He's just misses the barrel, finds the kill somehow, but he's reloading, and Bibu takes the round back from what was the jaws at the feet in above the groundwork he was doing below. It's still part of the process, still part of the drive, the tucks and the push and the pressure, but the C4 stops P4 from getting any step further.
Good stuff happening out there from the side of Wild. Like, the flashbangs were coming through. The C4 was there for the bait. Like, as soon as he came around that corner, his death sentence was signed. Deadshot now trying to get the return. We'll find at least one. Bibu is finding himself quite close to the diffuser that has been dropped in the meantime. Ooh. Second drops. Bibu now has the diffuser recovered, but needs to find some more control. There's 13 seconds left on the clock. It's not a lot of time, and he digs himself in deep right behind the refrigerator to try and go for the plant. Aces hears that happening, is seeing his feet right now, calls it out, and again it gets dropped. And with 3 seconds left on the clock, there's no way for Deadshot to clutch this one out, and Wild will win their round 3.
I'm curious to see if the time becomes the issue that they suffered the second time round. They're making sure they get earlier focus here onto Hungry. I talked about this position being dangerous, and there it is. They've swung themselves round. Suddenly that's their territory. P4 gets one as well, and Wolves have exploded over the top of the site in a 3-2-1 go. Now, with Aces taking some damage, Jegs holds down onto the pillar swing, and it's a 3 versus 2 as Bibu still continues his reign. Deadshot as well, comboing, leaving just Aces alone. He doesn't quite get the full bite of that player. Will reveal his position. And Wolves continue the trade of rounds to get an even 3 apiece half of the procs just tucked on the top.
This is a hop breach. This is a hop breach.
Oh, Hungry.
No.
Oh, here they go. They're inside. They're dropping down. They've got the cover. The blinds come out over the top, but they've lost most of their bodies. Jags is able to get one, gets
beautiful.
2 onto P4, but with Shinker and Dentshot still holding the back end, and Teb now gone. It is just Hungry left, and he has surrounded the Monty. Goes for the pistol. What else can he really do? He gets the down. Oh, but Bibu just gets the swing around there onto the end.
See, I saw them all line up on that hatch, and I saw the Monty putting that...
Done. There is also the angle that gets opened. If you can be a little bit sneaky, you can get impact tricks underneath, which Bibu might attempt as the Azami. It's not the easiest, but that's why they're prepped there ready. Then you hit it onto the light itself, but in the meantime, the Yin goes on the back end. Shinker and P4 come out mainly successful, but they're inside in 2 versus 3. Whether the wall was opened or not, they've been able to find a second of silence.
Jags is pushing in from games, hoping to cover 2 angles at a time here.
20 seconds left, and they went to where they've been able to get some work done. But look at the hold that Deadshot and Bibu, as I said, they've been the sort of dream team duo that's kept Wolves fighting. There's Deadshot getting the first. He's hoping the swing was on the second, but it's Bibu with the lockdown. They rotated under the knowledge of where the push was coming from. Akiba being hit gave some of the sound away. They just could not push in via walk-in because of it. As to when somebody is going wider and wider, and it's such a perfectly put together problem. That over the top, the Candela changes focus as Jegs does remove Bibu. Aces goes down in the meantime on the backs. They're going to try and capitalize on the push at the same time. All that utility thrown as the cavalcade of explosions takes out the player, and Packbull is behind the plant. He's going to see if he can get it locked down on the far end as Teb is doing his own far end of holding. Down onto green, down onto the corridor. It's a 2-story take, a long attic. They're trying to find the player out, but at this point, with the plant down, with only Shinker left, a great take onto Packbull, but they're behind you. He's stuck in split. Now he's moving away. Jegs just sort of wanted to make the statement of, we could be anywhere. Now he's back there.
Back on the stage, yes. He's just going to be making sure there's no way with a triple crossfire onto the diffuser right now. And it should be ending in favor of WYLDE as the time is slowly running out. Shinka will find himself on the diffuser, but knows that it's going to be futile. He's going to be taken down, and WYLDE able to find themselves with an extra round on the board. But breaking this one down
might be the loose player, might be the danger. The calls come together. He's going to try and swing into it as he hears the drones as well. There's not many places he can go. The drop onto E-Box, the pressure onto Blue. Shinka saves his life from one angle. He almost saves his own from the other. But with the player down now, Teb, he doesn't want to go for the lockdown. The pings are there on the player. The smoke is to buy them a second of safety. They get caught from the back end. Laundry, you forgot about me. They get at least one back, but now it is just P4, the only one left in the 3 versus 1 at 20 seconds, and with a C4 in hand, he's just going to early throw it, but it went a bit too high. Unfortunately, could not get the connection. The pings on the player down at the long angle. They lock it out. Teb, once again, getting some force for the team.
5-5. Wouldn't be surprised if a tactical timeout gets called now.
Directly, it's Bibu now in a sort of long-range position with Mowgli offering that support. All of them have started to tuck themselves back in. Aces gets P4. They're doing a good job of covering the approach, but here, Aces still driving himself through. Mowgli's trying to find a fight, but he keeps being out of time and out of place. Just seeing the far end of it takes a lot of damage in the meantime, and killed by his own smoke. And now is just Deadshot left on the wrong side of a mirror window. He's got to see if he can try and crack his way back in. Knocks it, gives the game away on his location before that either way, but a post plant. And the reverse take with all the bait on where they're going to be has fooled Wolves. Can they try and pull this round back?
In a 1v3, Deadshot currently finds himself. He's hoping to find it first. Will hit that shot beautifully. But in the meantime, you already have to rotate up to the top, and that means they can play it from the hatch or from the freezer on a very long angle. He turns his back to one of them, actually gets shut down by him. It's Hungry that gets that kill, and it's WYLDE that now find themselves up onto map point. Oh, it doesn't matter anymore. And thus now, Hungry will live, but his teammates have died, at least 2 of them.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well, is you can't just sit in close against an Oryx.
That's
you go against the...
out there.
Yeah, I mean, they've played the Warden pretty continually as soon as the Ying was seen. Packpool's caught out at the top of Armory Stairs. And although Hungary gets one, with that up and with only 19 seconds, I think that's all we're going to see.
Oh.
Touch some damage to Mowgli. I mean, he didn't have to be there, let's be honest. But no time, a 3 versus 1, perfect danger arc of setting up of what way do you go.
Almost got a third.
Almost got a third.
All right, 6-6. So overtime it is to decide who is going to be picking up this first map.
The sight or the pressure onto the hatch itself. If they don't know he's up here, well, he's going to get the free take. He sees, but misses it and has to wait. Caught on a drone and he still gets the kill!
What?
He should not be getting away with that! What an error from WYLDE there. An actively watched drone gets the kill. They're going to have to just drop into the site, but they get caught out instantly by P4.
Oh.
And they had everything going for them there. And one error puts it all down the sink.
To the clashing elbow.
Takes a bit of damage, but is still holding down onto elbow itself. Bibu on top of E-Box is putting the pressure, but the kit is on the far side. Around Laundry, Shinka takes the drop. And now in the 5 versus 2, the C4 isn't going to get it, but the kill sure does. Trying to find a pocket of safety. Hungry with the secondary gets Mowgli. Bibu does find Packpool, leaving just the clash. Has to do it all once again. Hungry in a 1 versus 3. Yeah, Super Shorty is all they've really got to cook and work with here, and the shield obviously itself, but with the kit being planted, with the watch by the players, and with a Super Shorty attempt, it's a Wolves round, and a Wolves opening map that almost went all the way.
So instead it's going to be an impact. You might be able to actually open up onto these Selmas that just has been tossed out. I believe all 3 have been placed. None of them actually landed, and that means the wall stays closed, but Shinka gets opened up on.
There's P4 and Ace inside the site. He hopped on the close window. The blinds come out over the top from Hungry. He was hitting the skylight. Packpool gets one on the back end, and they've suddenly stormed the site. Jegs gets it, leaving just nobody. You asked a question, my good friend. How
quick were they gonna go?
How quick are they gonna go?
It turned out to be that site. Potentially tossing these Candelas as well, as Hungry already finds himself close to the side, tossing in these smokes, taking a fight 80 as Mowgli somehow not wanting to stick through that.
Oh, he's caught by Aces who pressed themselves all up against the wall. Packpool with the Ying on the back end, just misses the next engagement, but the smoke won't stop the plant. Behind the strategy table, Hungry can connect it, and as we hear in EU1D again, a 4 versus 2 post plant. P4 with the clash on the red door, wanted to get a lucky strike as they slipped them way out, but now they've just replaced the door itself, and well, they can hear it. They're hoping the smoke clears to get a clear shot on somebody on the back end. They cannot just drop to the shield, but they will drop to the floor. Bibu, all that's left, and in the space of 1 round, we've had 2, and both of them.
How long are we production? How long are we currently in this game? It would have been a kill. Able to just lean back in and getting the kill like that. Beautiful stuff that Wolves need. Candelas is starting to be tossed in, and that is definitely going to be a bit of a distraction move, allowing the remaining members of WYLDE to creep up the staircase a little bit. Frostmat will find one. That's the confirm. A second will not be found. Suddenly it's a 1-on-1. Only Shinka left against Teb.
Teb, he was the surviving member of that. The Candela didn't quite roll all the way to the top of the main stairs, but now he snuck his way into the site, and they've snuck themselves out. They're round on the rotate on the back end, and I don't know if Shinka's been told this, so he's coming back round towards the site. But a post plant pops up from the side of the bar, and he's sort of done a little bit of daylight robbery. The spray threw over the top, the spray right back through the softs. The health of Teb is the risk here. He puts Shinka on pretty much exactly the same amount, though, and this has become suddenly a Western shootout. It will take a single bullet. Who is the quicker draw? It's Teb!
Teb clutching it out there, huge for his team, and I don't think we've talked about it enough, but the operator of the mob somehow does manage to actually get up towards that corner before Deadshot shuts down Packpool.
Yeah, Packpool gone, Hungry, under a bit of pressure. The fire will burn and put us around 30 seconds for the plant attempt with Mowgli. Getting a great little take there from China. Now puts a pocket of concern that will grow bigger and bigger as time continues to tick. They need to just try and force the site now. Force the kit down, get the root on. Hungry's still taking the scratch pressure from the angles that are opened on the feet. But without anyone else to sort of be the drive, they've had to rotate off, pull slightly elsewhere, and there's Mowgli getting Teb over the top. They've got to drop the shield and try and take the fight, but you put your arm out in a big situation, the fire still burns, Aces goes down, and well, Wolves get their first round.
No kills this time for the Montaigne, going down in the ADS mode.
As we said, when you've got a man with glasses that can see through that, it's risky to try and push directly onto the back of it. It's something that's been punished before. The Prox is caught under, and P4 catches Hungry. There is that engagement between somebody who can see you and somebody who can't. P4 with another, and it is just locked down here. Teb, the only one left standing. 17 seconds. It would take more than a miracle.
It's definitely going to take more than a miracle. It's a flawless route from Wolves to lock it off. If you just look at it there, I mean, they tried to hunt down the 1 or 2 players that were. Jax takes a small amount of damage, but that's not going to be too worrisome. Oh. Now it's starting to be worrisome for him.
Yeah, that puts him on the wrong end of that swing, so Hungry finishes the rest of the sentence for him. Bibu is still under red. Now, the C4 might not be as impactful, but the positioning could be. There goes Jax. P4 gets rid of the player that has been a superstar for Wild's run. The swing doesn't quite get the full body, but again, the longer this goes on, the more this happens. Bibu gets that C4, almost gets the second as well. The sudden strike with 10 seconds left. Played it perfectly. Oasis was in a frost map. Well, neither of them could do it on the previous map. 4 rounds in a row could be possible here for Wolves. That's the perfect way to start. There's 1, there's 2, and a bit with a player down just outside. Packpool caught. They went for something very cheeky as a run out, and it is entirely backfired. The sights, they have sight lines all the way across everything. The 2 players that still stand, Aces and Hungry, have not a lot they can work with. And now they have even less. 1 player dropped. The hot pings come around, and Aces does get 1, gets almost 2. Mowgli just survives because he runs out of bullets. The C4 is the end of it. No, the grenade is the end of it.
It's just a return of explosive packages at that point. They had just bounced right at him as well.
Directly onto Jags. You know, Hungry made his way close, but not quite fast enough for them to warrant the push behind it. Detroit does find Packball. And Jags finds Bibu. Back and forth. There's Shinka's now the one inside the site. Doesn't quite get the full read on where Hungry is tucked. And now it's another one on the door. That's so many players that have tried to just force their way in from the study door. A great hop over from P4. And as he pulls that out of his leg in just a moment.
Force coming around. He has the opening into the wall. Gives a little bit of a quick check, but it's just a play on contact right here. If he takes one gunfight, he's instantly going to be taken down by the other. Oh, actually gets that kill. Doesn't get the second. Hungry locks it off just in time, but that suddenly got very close because the plan was play on contact. He picks one, you swing with the other. Jags is finding themselves on the staircase, and I believe he's actually the only player that's currently out there with a grenade kill from Mowgli to start things off. That's, again, a good start.
Oh, the Banshee's just going to get a bit of the read on with a slight opening onto that laundry wall. It's dangerous, but so is Bibu when he's inside the side, swinging onto the next fight on China. They're trying to break their way back in. They pull themselves back just a little, but it's a double down of Wolves on the back end, and suddenly the 2 Wild players still standing are trying to stop the kit being planted, but a well-placed grenade uncooked means you just got to wait a bit longer. There's at least a take onto 1. But now a post-plant. One of them is so close. One of them is dropped far. They're right behind you. Does he know? He knows! Ace is on a triple kill. He's brought this into a 1 versus 1 out of absolutely nothing. The pings and the spray through the wall. Whether he heard audio, he heard something. And it's turning into this, a very dangerous bit of hope. That is something that Wolves need to play against. He's going for the long arm. The flash is over the top. He's going to see if he can get anything from it. It's a Capcan!
No!
You said Teb clutches these out, but I think I'm happy to give this one to Aces.
Oh, no, you don't want to lose these like this.
Be something that punishes them. Aces holding himself in the bath. Mowgli holding himself close to a fight. He baits the motion. Hungry has been a very patient boy, and he's still going to stay that way. He's going to get his reward just later because Christmas isn't here yet.
Oh, he checks him actually!
He's been a naughty boy! 5-3! And the remaining Wild players now holding on. Aces is able to get his kill from the buff, but Mowgli swings around before Tab locks them off. Watching from the range now, Tab is hoping another player tries to get the swing into the chassis. Aces goes for the retake there inside the site once again. It seems like Wolves are seeing if they can flood through. They're getting a great take onto the back, and they know where Teb is. The flashes come, they're blinding him, they're waiting and wasting as much time as possible. We're back tied up, 5 apiece.
Too many angles to cover there as he wanted to move through, and we are still so close between these 2 teams. From all these different sides to see if they can get an entry again.
Oh, just misses the back of the Wamai. They're tucked now on the closed door. It's Aces over the top that gets Deadshot locked down. The calls echo out, and smoke canisters do as well. They entirely force them to have no support for Mowgli. He's able to get the end of the fight there. He hopes to find the second, but now he knows he's surrounded. So let's find a new route through. He should get swung from the right-hand side on the back of that. No, not there in time. Hungry pulls himself back and pre-fires the angle, but with a minute on, over one side, the fire of the gun is just over the other. Hungry wants to pop this round the corner as he pops somebody's head off, and with Mowgli getting a third for the round, it doesn't quite end there, only just.
Manages to get it on the second attempt, but P4 now finds himself in sight. The Noder up against at least one, but Teb will take down the diffuser. Knows there's one on the opposite side as well, but gets taken down by Shinka right before he could get one more kill. The diffuser can now be recovered, and they know Hungry was in that side. He's playing with a pistol, the machine pistol that is. Razorblum will not get anyone. Bibu can now go for the plant. Try and put 45 seconds on the board with 10 seconds on the clock. Hungry, he needs to push now to stop this plant, but he's too late. They know where he is, but he will still get the very first kill. The M870 will come out. He gets danger onto Shinka, and with that will win the round and put Wild up onto map point.
Oh, you can see it on Jax's face. You can see it on Packball's face, and you can almost make it out through the blur of any season.
He takes out the drone, so Aces knows he's been spotted. Of course, it's a default area to be in. Wolves now have the opportunity to try and take that down as Bibu executes.
They drop down onto the site, or close enough to. They're starting to sort of make the statement of pressure as the diffuser gets itself angled closer and closer towards the entrance. There it is. Deadshot leads them through. Shinka's going for the tuck plant in the 3 versus 4. There's another body for Bibu. A continuation of what he's been able to do throughout this series so far. Jegs and Aces. 2 versus 4. At least he has a little bit of support this time round, but they need to still try and make ends meet. There is a 1.
Trap.
There is the Capcan trap. And there is another overtime.
I think 6 gadgets got hacked by the clutch drones there. Like, come in as a bit of distraction, maybe to buy some time for the rest of Wolves to take care of the player onto red, as that's exactly what Deadshot does.
They swing it from the bottom. There is another player down there, but as Mowgli gets a kill inside the site, suddenly they have to act back. A minute 10, and they're going to swing onto the Thorn, and Hungry is able to keep their run from the success they had the last time they were on this site, the 3 versus 3, as they see
From the window.
He's baiting another grenade. That one is going to bounce off the side. It still gets the Wamai disc, but not in the way that he wanted and not in the way that it gets the player. The blinds are about to come over the top. Do they still have the ping on the player? He's lying behind the sofa, pops up and gets rocked right back down. Bibu gets one. Shinka gets damaged by the smoke, held off, but with only 10 seconds, you got to do this. Dive with the plant, covered by the Razor Bloom. They have some protection, but Aces cannot get the fight out. 3-1. Packball cannot get it either. And Wolves, once again, take the round to get them into OT and take the first round of OT. Will they repeat it and send themselves to Copenhagen? Keep their units and keep the pressure. Bibu comes back in for the fight. Cannot win it out as the blinds happen around the site itself. They're able to scream their way up the stairs, but there's Mowgli and P4 popping off the main push. Aces with the flash that gets caught out. The spray underneath does a lot of damage to Shinka, but he can sit and pretty as Hungry does some of the damage of himself. Over on the other side, but dropped. It is all down to Aces for a chance of Wild to keep themselves in the fight for Copenhagen against P4, Shinka, and Deadshot. 3 people dedicated, 3 people with huge experience against someone with huge experience of his own. They've had a fantastic run here, Wild, and they're just looking for the final 10 seconds. He can't quite get given anything because Wolves are holding themselves close, and we are seeing them take the game, take the series, take the run, take the energy, boys. We'll see you in Copenhagen.